class consumer behavior, analyze consumer behavior, psychology. We need to know how they feel, how they act, how they react to stimulus, okay? But not for us to do what they want us to do, not for us to do what they want us to do. Big mistake to do what they want us to do. Big mistake. If we do what they want us to do, we don't have control in terms of our creative process. We need to have control because, as Valeria said, we have the experience, we have the expertise, all right? So it's not for us to do what they want us to do. Now, another important point is that if we do what they want us to do, we will not be surprising them. I'm going to repeat this. If we do what they want us to do, we will not be surprising them. Okay? And that is something that is not good. It's not good. Why not? Because the surprise factor is huge. It's extremely important. Can you please reflect on that? Why we need to surprise our customers? Anyone, tell me why.
Because we can, if you surprise a customer, he won't have the obligation, but he will feel motivated to buy or work with us. But if we don't surprise them, they have no motivation, you know?
Exactly
Or
right.
we wouldn't be like different to our competition. So that will be like an advantage for us.
Correct, correct. So it's about competition, but it's also about not having a boring experience with them. So both perspectives are extremely right. If we don't surprise them, the customer gets bored. Like, seriously, you know, they will tell you, oh, great product, great service the first 2-3 times. If you don't present anything new, and I'm not talking about new products and services, please. I'm not talking about, because that is a strategy, remember, that is a big, big change. So I'm not telling you, oh, you need to change your products and services every 3 weeks. Wrong. That's not what I'm telling you, because remember, that is a strategy. That is something that you do after carefully planning, and then you change the entire company to produce new products and services. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about providing new experiences, new ways to use the products that you already have, new ways to access the services that you already have, new software, new applications, new people in your business, fresh air, fresh minds. You know, like, how interesting is this when you get to meet new people? So in the companies, there is the same situation. If you change, if you rotate the personnel, if you rotate you know, the experiences, that will be more meaningful to the clients, because that is surprising. We are humans, we like to be surprised. Okay, let me just, sorry guys, I just need to send another person the link. Just give me 1 minute. All right, cool. So right, another important thing is that if we, and please start understanding this concept from now, this is also related to innovation. So understanding consumer behavior is also related to innovation. Why? We need to respect, we need to know how they are, but we cannot do what they ask us to do. That's important in marketing, in modern marketing. Old marketing, oh, we need to do what our customer asks us to do. Old marketing, all right? Modern marketing, that is not the premise. The premise is we need to surprise the customers, all right? Now, why innovation plays an important role here? Because if we do what our customer want us to do, the final result of our intellectual process, whatever it is, a new product, a new service, a new experience, will be something that will not be different to what they already have in mind. This came from, you guys, you are familiar with Steve Jobs, yeah? You're familiar with Steve Jobs and Apple.
Yeah, sure.
Apple, Steve Jobs at that time didn't ask Motorola and Nokia customers what they want the next, like mobile phone to be. Why not? Because if you ask Motorola, Nokia, Philips, Sony customers, everyone at the time before Apple, hey, what do you want the phone to have? What do you want the phone to be? What features do you want the phone to display so you can use it better? What people will say at that time?
At that time, there were no touch screen phones.
No.
So they would say a normal phone.
They wanted
Maybe fast
they wanted
connection.
simplicity. I don't know. That's what I think. I
Exactly.
mean, they needed something that just they needed like something to call, not something to be really like into technology.
Of course,
They
because
needed
at that
something
time,
simple. They needed something basical. That's
simple and basic, like big buttons. All right.
big buttons.
Big buttons, because the situation was, all right, all the phones, a new device to us, we have buttons, we use them to text, blah blah blah, but it's difficult because majority of people that were buying phones at that time were mature people, executives, people with money, old people, mature people, and they were struggling to press the buttons because it was a new technology. So they were pressing 2-3 buttons at the same time. You ask them, what do you want the next phone to be? They will tell you big buttons. So if Apple asks customers, hey, what do you want the next phone to be? Apple will be ending with something similar to a phone with big buttons. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I think maybe, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Sorry. I think that the most amazing thing of Apple is that, I mean, they are a good company. They do know how to work with marketing. That's what I think. And more with the new release, like of the new Apple Watch, the new iPhone 15. And the thing is that they create this necessity. I mean, they create a need. They made us feel like that we need to buy this new phone because it's going to help us, I don't know, for example, in my case, with the new camera, the new software that it has, it's going to be good for me, for my businesses, for what I want to do. It's a need. I mean, they don't ask us what we want, but they know what we need. And that's customer behavior. That I think that they know what we need.
100%. That's all right. Beautiful. They know what we need, but they don't know what we want. That's what you said, yeah, Mari? Just to Mariana, they know what we want. They know what we need, but they don't know what we want. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes it's better just receiving something that you didn't ask for, and they just give it to you without asking for.
Of course. So that is the typical, human relationship situation. Hey, let's go to eat tonight. Let's have a date. Let's go and have something to eat outside. And then if you ask the other person, what do you want? The other person goes like, shit, I don't know. Instead, if you go like, all right, let's go out tonight to eat pasta. All right, cool. That is what I'm talking about. All right. The customer doesn't want to have the responsibility to make the decision for you. And if you ask the customer to make the decision for you, then don't complain if your innovation process is broken. So I love what Mariana is saying, because they know our needs. They know, we need to eat. Of course I need to eat. But what I want to eat is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's different what I need to eat.
Yeah, that's it.
But I don't know what I want to eat. So if you tell me, Santi, let's go and have dinner, I say, all right, cool. I know that I know to eat tonight, but is that exciting to me? Not that much. Oh, Santi, let's go and have dinner. We will be preparing I don't know, fried calamari. All right, fried calamari. Last time I tried fried calamari was months ago. That sounds tempting. I will definitely. So the need and the wants are extremely different. We need to know the needs, of course. All right. Anyone has heard about Maslow hierarchy of needs? You know, from previous marketing business classes.
The pyramid.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that.
So Maslow was a psychologist, and he like created a pyramid of the needs.
The
So on the
hierarchy.
base, so on the base is the basic needs for a person. But to be fair, for all of us, our needs are different. Even though he established like a rule,
all right,
always varies.
That's a big call. Tell me why our needs are different. I don't get it. Why?
For example, for me, a basic need is to eat. To eat, have friends, and I don't know, and do sport. But for Mariana, for instance, the needs can be eat and just have friends. He doesn't matter to work out or something like that.
You mean
so
the hierarchy? You mean the order of the needs?
Yeah.
All right, that's different. The order, I will respect what you say, but the needs, no.
The needs are the same. Yeah. What it changes is the order.
The order. What is the most basic need for all of us, guys? What is the most important need that we need to cover?
I would say feeding.
Otherwise we die. What is that?
Feeding, we need to get food.
We need to get food.
As you said,
we need to get water. We need to get shelter.
And socialize.
We need to get sleep. We need to get clothing. And we need to reproduce. We need to have sex. So those are the psychological needs. Psychological needs. Water, pure air, shelter, food, clothing, and sex. All right? Physiological needs. Physiological, not psychological, sorry. Physiological, concerning to our body. And then, if we go a little bit up in terms of the hierarchy, we need security, because we need to keep living. We need employment. We need to develop new businesses. We need resources like money. We need health. And we need to buy properties because we need more money. We need to grow. We need to be able to produce more so we can do more with what we have. And then, once we have that, we need STEAM. We need friendship. We need a family. We need sense of connection. But I understand what is the order, that the order may differ. For some people, love and belonging could be more important than security. All right, than employment. So I respect what you say. All right, and finally, we have a self-actualization, and that's why we study. That's why we humans, we get to do things that are crazy. All right, like developing crazy tall skyscrapers, like developing airplanes. Those are things that we do because of self-actualization, right? So the needs don't change. What changes is the wants. And that's where we play. Estefania, go ahead. Steffi?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. So I was about to say that sometimes what we need is to create a necessity based on those basic necessities for people, and then create like you cannot live without this. You have to have this. That will be like probably a next step. Like to have a different taste from other brands and to disrupt it a little bit in the marketing thing. It will be creating necessities and that feel that people need to have that.
Good point. The necessity for that want. That's what I want you guys to understand. The necessity for the want, not the necessity for the need.
Exactly, for the want.
Because we humans, our needs don't change. Like everybody here, everyone needs to eat. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to eat. Everyone. Like, not kidding. And everyone needs water. Seriously. If you want to reproduce, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to have family, you need to have sex. So that will not change. That's how life is. So you need to find a partner and you need to have sex in order to reproduce. And that is a basic need. That's why we are still today here. Because for some people, this is serious business, isn't it? We need to have a roof, because raining is not good. I mean, it is good for a little bit, but if you keep having water on top of your head, you get sick after a while. So we all need roof, but we all need shelter and roof in a different way. Some people want to have a small cabin. Some people want to have a small cabana close to the beach. Some people hate cabanas close to the beach because of the hurricanes and the tornadoes. Some people want to live in skyscrapers in the city, and that is shelter for them. But some people hate cities, that they want to be in the countryside. They want to be, you see the difference between the need and the want? So everybody needs food. Some people want to have McDonald's and KFC. Some people hate KFC. Some people hate KFC. Some people love KFC. Some people want to have sashimi. Some people want to have tuna and fish because they love fish. Some people don't like fish. So some people are vegetarians. They want to have veggies. They don't want to have meat. So the wants is what we need to communicate in our marketing. And for us to get to know our customers, we don't need to know the needs. We need to know the wants. And once we know what they want, we don't ask them what is that shape of what they want, what is the form of what they want. That is when our creative process arises and innovation happens. And then we present that new thing to the customer, and they get surprised and they get excited because it's not boring, and that's when they buy. And that's when they buy. When they buy, guys, then our marketing makes sense. When they buy, guys, don't forget about this, then our marketing makes sense.
So, Santiago, question, would you say that we're basically telling them what they want and compelling them almost to buy our products?
Let's find out.
Like, in a way, I mean.
Try to explain that using different words, Camila. Try again.
So, for example, let's say I have a phone. Let's say I have this phone, right? And I want to sell this phone to my sister. So let's just say, okay, for example, the reason why you need this phone, so I make it like it's that good that you love it so much. And I tell you all the cool features that this phone has. And then let's say my sister falls in love with what I've told her. She falls in love with the products and the way I showed her what it can do. And that makes her want to buy it.
No. But Camila, I respect you. You are one of my best students. All right, but we need to tune this. People don't buy things because of the futures it has. People don't buy because of it. So if you go to your sister, to your friend, and you say, look, this phone has camera, this phone has, high resolution, this phone has memory, this phone has connection to different PowerPoints, this phone has fantastic audio, this phone has, this lighting, this phone features. You don't do that. Or it's like if you want to sell a car and you go, oh, this car has 4 tires, this car has air conditioning, this car has leather seats, this car has brakes in every single tire, a wheel, this car has a horn, this car has an infotainment system. You don't do that. We need to sell, listen up, in terms of benefits, Camila. So If you are selling that phone to your friend, you don't mention the futures. What you say is, look, if you buy this phone, then you will have the benefit of having a constant communication with the people that you love.
I
You
think it will be more related with experience. Like we don't go to the customer for offering not the benefits, offering products, but the experience
futures,
through it.
futures.
Yeah.
We don't sell. That's what everybody will do. So if we would really want to be good sellers, we need to sell the benefit, right? If you buy this car, you don't need to mention the futures, but if you buy this car, then you will have prestige. If you buy this car, then people will see you like someone that respects the environment, someone that is, you know, concerned about climate change. You know what I mean? It's virtual. It's virtual signing. When people buy electric cars, it's not because it's not because they need the electric car. It's because they want to tell others how good they are with the environment. They need to provide signals to the market. And that's why they buy the Tesla and the electric car. It's not because they need the Tesla, because the transportation need could be covered with a Tesla, with a Renault, with a Toyota. So you don't mention the futures. Oh, this car is electric and you need to buy it because it's electric. No, mate. You sell the car telling people, if you buy this car, then you will be telling everyone how concerned you are with climate change, how important are the animals for you, how important is all of this that is, you know, relevant to people that buy electric cars. Stefania.
Oh, thank you. I have a question. How do we use FOMO in that situation? We related FOMO with benefit to acquire that certain product, or do we relate FOMO to the benefit of the product or the features of the product?
Never the futures, never.
Never.
That's when I have someone that is talking about the futures, I know that person doesn't know marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have the feeling, guys, I have the feeling that you guys, my students, you respect marketing now. Because I probably before this program, you were, marketing doesn't matter. Everybody knows marketing. No, mate, not everyone knows marketing. People that knows marketing, they don't talk in terms of the futures. They talk in terms of the benefits. And that is what make people buy. So, yeah.
No, because like now that you're saying in that way, make me think that the future, like the futures of the car, they can find in anywhere else. So that's why you don't sell in that way, because all the other companies have it as well. So you sell it in terms of what you getting benefit of what I provide, what I do difference of the other companies. And if you buy from me, what you're gonna experience difference than the other companies. That's how I get it.
For example, Jeep, you know Jeep, which is a very renowned brand. When they sell cars, they don't tell people, oh, this Jeep will have, you know, 4-wheel drive, the suspension has all these millimeters and you can do this and that. Because no, they go and say, look, if you buy this Jeep, you will be able to go and have the best weekends with your mates. You will be able to do camping. And on top of it, if you buy the Jeep from us, we are going to give you training, so you know how to drive a 4-wheel drive. You know, it's about the benefits, for God's sake. We need to get this today, all right? We need to get this today. And that's why I was trying to tell Cami this, all right? Cami, you got it? All right? It's like, I'm not telling you to do this program because it has 12 units. Oh, please do this program because it has 12 units. The competition, 10 units. Our program, 12 units. Oh, do the program with us because our classes are online and in Zoom and I don't talk in terms of futures. Do the program with us because you will be able to make money faster. You will be able to success faster. You will be able to fail faster. Is the value proposition of what I do, of what we do with Lonsdale Institute and these programs, is for you to learn fast. That's it. So what is learning fast? That is a benefit. Right. So we got it. All right. That is real consumer behavior. It's understanding what they want, not what they need. And then we give shape to what they want. Then we give color. Then we give characteristics to what they want. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, guys, I'm going to close this room. Unfortunately, guys, and I'm sorry about this, we are trying to transfer the classes from Zoom to Teams because that is the new way for the school to go around recording classes and everything. But it's failing, it's not working today. But we will be okay, all right? But with Zoom, we don't have the professional account anymore. So I'm going to close the class. We need to get back to it. I wasn't recording. I just tried to teach you how important it is for us to read those generational differences, because the more we know those generational differences, the more acute and accurate will be our marketing message. Now, always that you hear the word marketing, I want you to think about marketing as a positive word, not as a negative word. Please, 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 please. I understand that a lot of people don't like marketing. And you know why? Because people that is doing marketing, they don't respect marketing. They don't know what is marketing. Marketing is not to sell what you don't need. Marketing is adding value to what you already have. And in doing so, to build a better future for you and your family and the environment and the nation and everything. All right? It's a social science that has to be respected for you to be able to execute it. Good marketing is the right interaction between companies and government and customers and customers and companies. It's a triangle that, if it is properly executed, makes life to be better in that place. So marketing is highly related to capitalism. Yes, it is. I mean, if you go to Cuba to study marketing, it's going to be tough. You know, if you go to Venezuela to study marketing, it's going to be tough. So it is related to capitalism, yes. It is related to consumerism, yes. It is related to producing more and growing more, yes. That's true, but that doesn't mean that is bad, okay? If you commit to one main or particular value, which is, or principle, sorry, that is how I can add value to what my customers already have. That is very different. So my customers already have a car. How can I add value with my products and services to the car that that person has? And that's how you sell products that will be supporting the car experience. Does my customer have already a bachelor degree? How can I add value to that journey, to that academic journey, so I can sell that person a master degree? All right. Is my customer fit and conscious about health? How can I add value to that life experience and sell a gym membership to that person? That is not to the person that is overweight and unhealthy. That is not a good marketing. That is the bad marketing, the one that is, you know, when you go and use, oh, hey, join our gym because, and they stop everyone. And no, that's not what I'm talking about. It's about building the life experience of your customers so that life experience is better tomorrow. That is what we do in marketing. Don't forget the 3 elements of marketing: companies, governments, and people, customers. If we can do that mixing well, then we have economic growth. All right. What is the economic growth of Australia right now? Who knows? What is the economic growth of India right now? China is going down, isn't it? What key indicator we use for us to know what is the economic growth of a country? Tell me, guys.
The value of the money, maybe.
The value of the currency? No.
Yeah.
what is the key indicator that we use in marketing, in business, in economy for us to know how a country
PIB?
is doing?
PIB.
PIB?
Producto Interno Bruto.
Okay. And that in English is GDP. Gross domestic product. All right.
Okay.
Now, the gross domestic product for us in marketing is extremely important because we need economies that are growing so people have more capital to invest and to use. If we, marketing people, if we are doing marketing in a country that is going down, that is not growing, people don't buy things. I mean, if you don't have money, tell me, do you buy rice or you buy prawns? If you don't have money, do you buy a bicycle or you buy a motorbike?
Bicycle.
Bicycle.
And you buy the rice. So so everything that is complex, everything that is more elaborated, everything that is more difficult to acquire, like prawns, becomes something that people don't buy. So we need economic growth. Some countries right now, they are trying to slow down the economy. How do you slow down an economy if you are in control of a country? Who knows?
I would say rising taxes or rising prices.
Rising
So
taxes.
people will stop.
For example,
Yeah.
what's happening in Venezuela?
All right.
The thing with the dollar, like making it its own currency. Maybe I'm not sure. I think it's can be.
For you to grow the economy or to decrease the economy, Mari?
We are talking about decrease.
Yeah, decrease. How we
I think I just got confused. Sorry.
No, that's okay. If we want to decrease, if we want to slow down an economy, what we do is we raise taxes, number one, and number two,
Interest rate.
That's it. That's it.
Mm.
And we raise interest rates and the economies go down, which is what is happening in Australia, which is what is happening in Canada, which is what is happening in USA. Have you noticed? Have you noticed the interest rates nowadays? Have you noticed the taxes in Canada and in Australia, 30, 35%? People don't buy might because people is so concerned about what is going to happen tomorrow. So people don't buy, businesses don't produce, the economy goes down, marketing is off the table. But if we have an economy in which interest rates are low, taxation is controlled, 10%, 50%, people have extra income to buy more education. People have extra income to buy holidays. People have extra income to go to the restaurants. People have extra income to buy the motorbike, not the bicycle. And that's what we need in marketing, because those companies that are selling elaborated products are the ones that need marketing people, not the ones that are selling commodities. There is a huge difference between a commodity. The commodity does not need marketing, and the elaborated product. Example of a commodity, please.
Commodity.
What is a commodity? Quickly. Isabel, I need you to tell me what a commodity is.
Commodity is more like not depends. I think depends on the country. Like in Colombia, it could be like have a car, no?
All right. No,
you are
lost. You are lost in translation, my dear.
Commodity.
You are lost in
Can
translation.
be
I'm not talking about comodidad. No.
coffee,
Commodity.
like coffee, for instance. Commodity.
Like a luxury.
Coffee? But what kind of coffee? Tell me. You're close, Samuel. Tell me the
I would say
coffee.
not.
Huh?
I don't know.
The coffee beans or the coffee drink? What are you talking about, Samuel?
The beans.
The coffee beans is a commodity,
Yeah.
yes. The coffee drink, the cafe latte is a commodity?
No.
Why not? Because it has a process. It is
Yeah.
elaborated. It's more
It's in
complex
process
than the
already.
coffee beans.
Can it be like a primary resource? Could be.
The primary resources are related to commodities, yes.
So
And
here it can be in Australia, it could be like the iron or the mines, no?
Of course, because you need the iron to produce something else. You need the charcoal, the carbon to produce something else.
Like here they say that Perth area is like the one who almost sustain all the economy of Australia because they extract the natural resource.
Of course, and that and those companies don't need marketing. I mean, a little bit, but if you're selling iron, if you're selling charcoal, if you're selling gold, if you're selling silver, if you're selling raw milk, you don't need marketing because customers don't buy from you. Who buys from you? Businesses buy from you. And the relationship business to business don't need marketing as much. One more time. So is milk a commodity or is milk a final product?
Final product. If it's on the bottle already, a final product.
Can be
Great.
the bot.
Yes. But if the milk is coming from the farm in these big canteens, it's a commodity.
That's a commodity.
With that milk, that is raw milk, you can do bottled milk for the supermarket. What else you can do?
Cheese,
butter,
Cheese,
heavy
and
cream.
all of that, yogurt, cheeses of 1,000 variety.
ice cream, yeah.
That's why I mean, if you go to Cuba, if you go to Venezuela,
Oof.
you don't find those things. You don't find yogurts, you don't find Parmesano cheese, you don't find different kind of cheeses, you don't find variations of produce because they don't have the capability to produce that because those economies just can't do it. They were killed to do that. They were cut to do that. So what we want, and I'm trying to invite you guys to be very, very rational about this. What I want is, if you really like marketing, if you really believe in the power of it to make people's lives better, just try to be very conscious about how an economy is managed and how politicians affect how those economies are managed. Please be very conscious about it. And it's not because otherwise marketing will not exist. No, it's because economic growth is much better than economic decrease. Gives people more opportunities and more choices to be in a better position. Of course, people that don't believe in this will tell you, oh, but it's not good because of the environment. Oh, but it's not good because some people don't have access to it. All right. Those are arguments that could be discussed as well, but should not be the core of our conversation. Why not? Because we believe in the economy. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys, this class is about psychology and marketing and economy and businesses is not for everyone. So it's good to feel uncomfortable sometimes if you feel otherwise, but that's what we do here. All right, guys, let's do a break. This is our first class for this unit, consumer behavior. After the break, we are going to be talking about not just the psychological factors that we have discussed, but we're going to talk about the social and cultural influences. We're going to be talking about how customers process information and then how they make decisions. All right. So that will be after the break. Enjoy the break. I will see you in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, you need to connect back to the class. Okay.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao. See you in 10 minutes. Don't leave. All right. That is the tool. The survey is the tool for you to get the information. But what is the name of the research that you do yourself for the purpose of your own research, your own investigation, your own company? It's very expensive, that research, and it takes a lot of...
Marketing investigations?
That's market research, but what category, what sort of research? There is all right. There is another research which is not this one. You don't do it yourself. You go to the internet and you find information in the internet, or you find a similar investigation, a similar research for a different restaurant, not for chicken restaurant, but for hamburgers restaurant. But that will give you some indication about how people, you know, spend money in that neighborhood when it comes to food.
That
So,
was the primary?
yes, so primary research, well done, Itza, well done. Primary research is when you do it yourself for the purpose of your research, for the purpose of business, right? It's yours, fresh, is accurate, is done at that moment. It's primary research, yes. And what is secondary research, Sayana?
Is when
The research was already done. Somebody did it already, and you find
and
it.
what was the difference between the secondary and the syndicated?
Oh, good one, good one. The syndicated was done by a market research company that sells those reports to
The
people.
information.
They sell those professional reports to companies, all right? That is syndicated. Syndicated is you buy the rights to access that information, a subscription, a report, and then you access that report from a recognized market research company. Secondary, another company did it. They are not experts in doing market research. You are not sure how acute and accurate that research may be, but it is accessible for you for free, so you get it. All good, Vale. All right. So that is how we get information. We get information through market research and also through something that is called observation. All right. So we observe how people react to stimulus, which is something that we discussed before. Right. Then once we have the information, what we do with the information, guys? All right. What we do. So remember, first, we understand our customer needs and wants, motivations, stimulus, you know, like lifestyles, blah, blah, blah. Secondly, we get information about the market through market research. What we do with that information? What you do with the information that you have now? You analyze that information, all right? Okay, guys. Guys, are you familiar with the, what's it called? Anyone familiar with the scientific method? You remember the scientific method from school, yeah? You observe the situation, you research that situation, that topic, then you make a conclusion about it, which is called a hypothesis. You say, all right, if this is happening, it's because of this, that is not proven. Then you test that hypothesis with experiments. Those experiments will give you data that you analyze, and then you get to a conclusion and you report on that conclusion. All right. So that is the scientific method. Observation first, observing life, observing people. Then you say, all right, I'm going to research people. I'm going to research what is going on. Then I say, all right, this is what is happening, which is the hypothesis, and why this is happening. But then you need to prove that hypothesis through experiments and testing. Then you need to analyze that. Then you create reports and conclusions. Anyone saw this new alien from Mexico? Anyone? No one. Guys, are you seriously? No one saw what happens in Mexico in
I saw it. It's so funny.
Congress, in the
Oh
Congress.
yeah, I saw it.
The alien, the little. Do you think it's true or false? Anyone? So
Can be difficult. I don't think it's true.
You don't think
But
you
who
don't
knows?
think it's true? I don't think it's true either. All right, I don't think it's true, but I am not sure.
Yeah.
And they say it's true. we're talking about the Mexican Congress, guys, all right? So this is not like someone do videos. This is a country saying we have proof of aliens. You know what I mean? This is big.
Yeah.
This is big shit. So it's a country with, I don't know, 160 million people saying, look, we have evidence that
It's an alien.
That's big. But what they don't have, they are not following this scientific method. Because they have the evidence, which is this mummified alien. But they need to do experiments, you know, and they need to share that data with scientific communities from all over the world. All right. And when everyone all over the world, they say, yes, actually, that is true, that is an alien, then we have an alien. You know what I mean? It's not because they are telling us, it's not because they are telling us that we have an alien that we can say, oh, yes, we have an alien. No. We need to run experiments on that. We need to get data, and then we need to report on that data. And if everybody agrees in the scientific global community, then we have an alien. That is why the scientific method is important. That's why we need to do here as well with market research. All right? We need to do the market. Yeah.
Sorry, Mariana is trying to enter to the Zoom room. Will you allow her to enter, please?
Sorry about that. Right now, doing that. You got it, guys? So in market research, it's the same situation. We need to get the data as a result of the surveys and everything that we do. But once we have that data, we need to analyze that data. Right? We need to run testings with that data for us to say, right, yes, this information that we have is good enough for us to launch a new product, a new service or not. All right, cool. So that is important to remember. How we get data, research, then we analyze data, and then finally we make the decisions. So this is the class, guys. I have completed the class. So why we need to know consumer behavior? A, because we need to know how they feel, what makes them react, what makes them tick, what makes them jump, what makes them smile. That's the first thing. What makes them cry, what makes them to be annoyed. This is important. What makes them to be concerned and confused. Politicians and governments, they use that a lot. Like, I don't know if you have noticed everything that is happening, wars, all of this with the aliens, everything that is happening in Hawaii, everything that is happening with the Black Lives Matters, everything that is happening with all the woke movement, everything that is happening with everything that is related to technology and artificial intelligence, everything that is related to, I don't know, Hollywood and what happened with Epstein, and all of that is to get people confused. So they get into this cloud of, oh my goodness, this is too much, it's overwhelming, I will switch off, I will prefer not to ask questions. That is what is happening. So in marketing, we don't do that for that purpose. We don't do that to switch off people's minds. But what we try to do is how we get to know people first, how they react to stimulus for us to solve whatever situation, problem, challenge they have, how our products, services, and experiences could help them to solve that challenge, that problem they have. That is the first thing that we do. Second thing that we do research. What is the currency in that country? What is the legislation in that country? What is the competency in that country for the products that I sell and that my customers may buy? So we do analysis then, which is, all right, this is viable. This is viable. Like, we can make a good business out of what we have here. And then we make a decision, which is, all right, cool. We are going to be selling these hats to people between 12, 15 years old, people that came from Latin background, and they have to be men because this is driven, this is directed to that particular target group. So that is the reason we do all of this, okay? All right, cool. Now, let me check something. For our next class, we need to do the observation assessment, just checking that, and the online quiz. But we also need to do the lesson, which is, you know, the inductive kind of assessment that we do for this class. So let's quickly move to accelerate, guys. The lesson has completed. Sorry, the lecture has completed, has been terminated now. Now let's move to accelerate. Open the lesson. We do the lesson. We finish the class. I call attendance and it's done. All right. But everyone, especially the new people this is starting today, go to accelerate and open the lesson. I will do the same.
Can I ask you something?
Oh.
I saw on your YouTube channel, I take a look to the class that you did. And the way you explained there, I think it will help us more. The way you explain in your classes on the video that you uploaded on your YouTube channel, I reckon it's way better than the way you do it here.
What do you mean? Sorry, I cannot get it.
Yeah, so the way you use the whiteboard to explain all the concepts,
okay,
that's
I
really
will do that.
helpful. So
I have it here. No worries. If you like
yeah, if
that,
you could do that, yeah.
that's 100%.
Because I feel I'm probably I'm the only one who saw the class, and I think yeah, it would be beneficial for us.
To use the whiteboard?
Yeah.
I saw those too. There, it's nice to have a visual.
Come with that. Come with. I have it here.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Thank you then.
That's what I use for my videos. But if you like it like that, and if you guys are okay with that, I will be using a whiteboard.
Yes.
From yeah, that's good.
Thank you very much.
100%. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay, so let's go to accelerate, guys.
Thank you, Santi.
No, pleasure. I like it. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. All right, let's do the lesson, please.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the point number 1. Who can read the point number 1 for me?
Marketers use the primary marketing information sources to gain insights, contributing to wise marketing choices, internal data, competitive intelligence, and market research.
Beautiful. So we talk about market research, competitive intelligence. What is that? What is competitive intelligence?
Well, how to describe it?
All right, let's start with something. Let's start with something. What is the difference between an industry and a business?
A business is just it's a company. An industry is, or like, with another example is better. So let's say Honda is a business related with motors.
Yeah.
And then the industry of motors has different brands like Honda, BMW, Mercedes.
So the automotive
industry is everything. Yeah.
Exactly. In that category, automotive. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Whereas the business is specific to that brand. So when we do competitive intelligence, are we doing intelligence to the industry or to the very business that is competing against us?
To the industry.
We are doing intelligence against the industry. That is extremely important because we need to compare all the players, not just one competitor. We need to find out what is happening in that industry, what are the offerings in that industry, what are the competitors in that industry, what are the the legislation that regulates that industry. So we do that in terms of the industry, not the business. Well done. So that's for the first part, and for the second part. And the first one is internal data. Internal data is the result of what we have in the company, like previous sales, all right, return on investment, cash flow, financial analysis, variations, and so on. Everything, warranty claims. So everything that we have there for us to make decisions. So once you have internal data, Once you have competitive analysis and once you have market research, you can solve any information need that you may have, right? Information needs that you may have. That is extremely important. So that is the know-how of the business. That is the brain of the business. Internal data, competitive analysis, and constant and current market research. Is that clear?
Yes.
Beautiful. Point number 2. We talk about internal data. We already discussed it. All right. Point number 3, competitive intelligence. We already discussed it.
Yeah.
And point number 4, market research, which is something that we already discussed it in the lecture. All right. So let's go to the point number 5. Oh, we have an issue with a video there. Let me check. All right, that video needs to be changed. It's no longer available. Okay. But we have a case which is Holden Australia. All right. So let's read this case before we talk about it. So Holden, the Australian car manufacturer, was once, not anymore, an iconic brand in Australia. Guys, it was huge. Like everyone wanted to have a Holden Commodore. Have you seen Holden Commodores in Australia, anyone? That is part of
really.
No, you guys know.
Not really.
Guys, that is part of the culture. And now that I'm telling you this, all right, guys, we have people from Colombia here, yeah. Like if I ask the Colombian people, do you know what a Renault 4 is? Do you say yes or no?
No.
Yes. Obvio.
All right, cool. That's why if you are in Australia and you came from Colombia, Africa, or the country that is not Australia, you need to do whatever in your hands is to get to know the culture of that country in terms of what they buy, what they don't buy, how they buy it, how often they buy it. Like the Holden culture, the Holden Commodore, the Holden Ute in Australia is huge. And Holden, which is a brand, that is somehow connected with Chevrolet in USA, was the pioneer of that concept, of that culture, the Holden Commodore Ute. I'm going to show you a photo. Probably you will see what I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second. All right, got it. So have a look at this photo, guys. Please have a look at this photo in the screen. You recognize this car?
Oh yeah, that's
That is
it's everywhere.
Australia and only in Australia. All right. You will not find a car like this anywhere else.
No.
That is Australian. All right. So in this particular case study, we have a situation in which this company was the most important automotive company in Australia. But about, like 15 years ago, it started to decline, to go down. Why? Why it started to go down? Because
probably
other
brands on the market.
Yeah, which ones?
Yeah,
which ones?
100% Japanese and Europeans.
No, actually, the Japanese were there before they were in decline because they were competing hand to hand. But which brands came to play in 2006, 2007?
Ford, with the Ford Falcon. That's kind of the same vehicle than the Holden Ute.
Yes, but Ford was competing hand to hand with Holden, but they were not. Ford was not eating Holden's lunch. What was the cause?
Toyota, maybe?
Not Toyota. Think about brands. Keep going. You close.
Tesla.
Mitsubishi.
No, Tesla was nothing back there.
Subaru.
Mercedes.
Oh, no.
Subaru?
Tell me the countries that manufacture cars in the world quickly.
Germany.
Germany. France.
Germany.
Germany.
Volkswagen. Volkswagen, 100%.
All right. So what else? Give me countries that manufactures cars in the world quickly.
Italy.
Germany, Japan,
Italy,
France.
What else? France,
the
Italy, Germany, England, Japan, You miss
USA,
USA,
Brazil,
yes, Brazil, no Brazil at a global scale, no.
South Korea.
South Korea. That's
EU.
it. Guys, have you, oh my goodness. Guys, anyone from South Korea here? No one?
No.
Man, South Korea, we have to respect those guys, eh? Like South Korea, people don't talk about South Korea. People talk about China, people talk about Japan, people talk about USA. South Korea is a monster. All right? We're talking about Samsung, talking about
LG.
we're talking about Kia cars. We're talking about Hyundai cars. Oh my goodness. Daewoo cars, like and electrodomestics as well.
Also, I think Samsung have cars too.
Yeah.
Samsung makes cars in Korea. They have the luxury brand of cars.
Yeah. So they are important. They are huge. They came to Australia in 2007, 2006 with an offering. And you know what was that offering? 7 years, 7 years unlimited warranty. 7 years. And companies that were in the country, they were offering 3 years. Some of them 5 years, but 7? So imagine having a car in which you have 7 years warranty. You go okay with it. You use it for 6 years. You sell it. No problems whatsoever.
It
So
is everywhere, also in Colombia too, no?
What is that?
That kind of brand marketing also happens in Colombia. Like a new market. In a new market, they put that.
The 7 year warranty?
Yeah.
And that's why that company changed the automotive world. So that was one situation. The other situation was Holden had all these big engines, you know, like the V6 and the V8s, big engines. What happens with big engines? What is the problem?
Very expensive to sustain and maintain.
They're expensive, yeah.
Why? They drink.
And really heavy.
They drink a lot of what?
Petrol, fuel.
Petrol, fuel. What we were told? What we were told 5 years ago by Greta Thunberg?
It's gonna be more, no? The resource is reducing.
Yeah, we were told that fuel is the worst thing that we can do. We were told that petrol is the worst thing that we can do. We were told that we shouldn't use airplanes. We were told 5 years ago by Greta Thunberg that the world should be ending now. I mean, we should be dead now. Seriously. Like there was a programming for people not to like big cars. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Huge programming. So people were like, I don't want a big car. I want a small, medium-sized car. And happens to be that Kia and Hyundai and Toyota selling those, I'm going to buy those. And Holden, boom, down. So we need to understand all these situations for us to manage the purpose of this class. It's not just about how people react to stimulus. It's about the environment and how the environment changed them. Tell me something, guys. What do you prefer? You prefer to be the person that changes the environment around you, or you prefer the environment to change who you are? I'm going to repeat it. Do you prefer to be the person that changes the environment around you, or you prefer the environment to change who you are?
The environment, I would say.
To change the environment?
Yeah, because if you don't change the environment, then you are a product of your environment. And that is why we need to be so observant of these dynamics. It's not just what we feel and how we react in terms of consumer behavior, it's how the environment shapes us. Like, you know, you guys know, for those of you who are from, I am from Colombia too. I went to Colombia a few weeks ago. and I am from a city that is called Medellin. And I saw people, you know, like using electric cars in Medellin. And Medellin
It's
is
super common now.
It's convenient, eh?
I know, but it doesn't make sense to have an electric car in Medellin. It makes sense to have an electric car in Cali, okay, because everything is flat.
Yeah.
But in Medellin, with all those mountains, I mean, it really doesn't make sense. So when you came to realize why people that do that is because they have been told, all right, if you buy an electric car, you will be saving more money. If you buy an electric car, you will be protecting the environment. If you buy an electric car, you will be signaling that you care about all these things. All right? And people buy those cars because of that, not because they really need the electric car. As I'm telling you, it's not because I'm against electric cars. I am against how companies brainwash and governments brainwash people to buy what they don't need, which is the marketing I don't like. All right? In Florida, which is flat, in Miami, in Orlando, have an electric car, of course. But in Bolivia, in Bogota, in Peru, with the mountains and the roads that doesn't make sense. But we were told that we needed to do that. So that is the environment changed who we are. We need to be very aware about that. That is what happens to Holden. People from in 2 years' time, you know, they went like, I'm not going to buy these cars Holden anymore. And people killed that company. They killed that company because the Australians that were buying all these cars with big engines, big, you know, with space, they in 2-3 years, they went to Kia, they went to Toyota, they bought the small 1.5s, 1.6 liters cars, 4 cylinders, and they killed all them. But this is not, I'm telling you, the war has been programmed for these companies to stop existing. But believe me, or you want to believe me, it's okay. It's not because they change the environment. It's because there is a global interest. You need to follow the money for people to be connected to the internet and to have electric cars. But we need to be aware of it. So that case study is talking about that. It's a really good case study for us to understand consumer behavior. All right. Now let's scroll down a little bit. And then we talk about the unique selling proposition. All right, let's have a look at this video quickly, and then we talk about what is the unique selling proposition.
Rossa Reeves was an advertising executive who fundamentally believed that an advertisement or a commercial needed to show off the qualities of the product it advertised rather than the cleverness of the...
Can you see the video and can you listen to it?
Yes.
All right, just making sure. Just let me put some subtitles. All right.
Copywriter. So he crafted his adverts around what he called the unique selling proposition, or USP. This was the one reason why people should buy the product, or why it was better than its competitors.
So what was Hyundai and Kia unique selling proposition, guys?
The warranty.
The 7 years
7
warranty.
years.
Reeves coined the term unique selling proposition in the 1950s. And a contemporary of his, Theodore Levitt, was a Harvard professor at the time. Levitt underlined the importance of the USP when he said that differentiation is one of the most important strategic and tactical activities in which companies must constantly engage. So, what is a USP? Do you still need one? And how can you craft your own?
So differentiation is extremely important for a company. If you were to start a company right now, what color would you choose for your brand?
Orange or blue.
Orange, good one. What else?
I think it depends.
Which one?
Because it's not the same. It's not the same if you want to open a business related with fashion than a business related with, I don't know, interior design.
Is that true? How do you know?
I would say for fashion, okay, it's better if your color is different from the others. I think it really doesn't matter.
All right, guys, listen up. Thank you, Samu. You are a really good student. I appreciate your participation. We were told. Remember that I told you that there is a lot of lies in terms of marketing. You know, we were told that buy 2 and get 3 Coca-Colas, 2 liters. That's marketing. That is not good marketing. We don't do that. People don't need 3 bottles of 2 liters of Coca-Cola. So that's not what we do. We were told, oh, if you're selling food, so the color should be yellow and red. Remember McDonald's? Oh, if you have a lawyer's firm or architecture, you should have a very serious formal color like gray or black. Or if you are selling education, then you should be very academic and you should be using a green or blue color. You know what I mean? That is all bullshit in the marketing world. The only thing that matters in terms of branding, listen up, is differentiation. That's what it is. Differentiation. Seriously. If there is a name, with all respect, I'm going to say this, don't get offended. If there is a name that I like here in this classroom, is the name Itzayana. Because it's so unique. Anyone has heard that name before? Itzayana, can you tell us a little bit about your name? Why you have that name, if you don't mind?
And my mom says she made it, but at the end, I think it does exist. It's a Maya name.
That story behind that name, that uniqueness about it, that is something that is extremely attractive and also a huge differentiation compared to everybody else. In branding, we need to think like Itzayana's parents. We need to find differentiation, not just through the words, but also to the colors. Tell me why we don't use pink. Why we don't use pink for branding? Because we were told
we can associate it to the brand. We can associate it to the brand.
But that's the point.
That more like gender related.
And that is the mistake. And that is the mistake. That is the programming I'm telling you. If there is a brand color that you should be using for your next business, is pink. Okay? Or a toxic yellow lemon kind of fluorescent color. Not a gray, not a green, not a All right.
A unique selling proposition is a simple statement that articulates why your product or your service is different from and therefore better than its competitors. Your USP needs a real benefit to your ideal customers. Benefits that, by definition, competing products or services do not share. Note that a USP differs from positioning. Positioning sets out to create an impression in the minds of potential customers about your product, service. And this perception doesn't have to represent any particular features or benefits, even anything that is unique about the product or the brand. Rather, it tends to be about the balance between the price and the value of the product, along with certain social or lifestyle associations that you create in the minds of your potential customers. But a strong USP helps your product or helps your service to stand out in the minds of your customers. If you have a distinct USP and it's one that your customers value, you don't have to worry as much about the activities of your competitors, at least until they can start to replicate your USP.
Okay, guys, so that, oh, let me just get these people in. So you need to start thinking, what is your USP? What is your unique selling proposition? You need to start thinking about that in terms of your personal branding, in terms of you as a person, as an individual. What is that is so unique about you? And you need to convey stories using that uniqueness. Now, if you don't have anything that is unique about you, you're wrong. There is a lot of things that are unique about you. You just need to do the reading properly. But examples of uniqueness when it comes to people, personalities, and characters, tell me.
I don't know, something that someone else doesn't do, doesn't have. That's the difference.
Example.
Between, curly hair, straight hair, red hair.
All right. So
Gray eyes.
Those are physiological differentiations. We need to use them as well. Like, we truly need to use them as well. All right. Like, some people are very, very attractive. Some people are very attractive. There is nothing wrong about being attractive. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But if you are attractive, if you're handsome, use it. Use it in terms of your personal branding. Don't be ashamed because of it. You have it. Use it. There is not. Some people is extremely smart. Use it. Tell others how smart you are, or demonstrate how smart you are with your opinions and with your conversations. Use it. Kill it with that. Some people is very analytical. Use it. Give reports. Give explanations about situations because of how analytical you are. Right? So we need to use our differentiators to stand up against the crew. Nobody will do it for us, though. For our companies, it's the same situation. We need to find out what is unique about us. You know, I'm going to tell you what is my USP. And it's not easy to maintain an USP. I don't meet with the students. Oh my goodness. Just let me see what happened here. Sorry. I don't meet with the students face to face. I don't meet with administrators and teachers and administrative staff face to face. All right. I don't visit a classroom face to face. I don't do those things. Why not? Because my unique selling proposition from 2019 with my business school of digital is everything I do it online. Everything. And it's not because I cannot do the other. I can go to the class. It's because I have a unique selling proposition that creates a differentiation, but that also drives quality in terms of what I do. So what I'm trying to tell you is, in your own particular businesses, try to find out what is unique about you and then defend it, maintain it until people remember you because of that differentiator. If you have not found the differentiator, then you need to start working on it like yesterday, all right? I mean, guys, seriously, I'm going to write something in the chat. Have a look at the chat. Let me find something, and that explains it all. What is the chat? Chat. Everybody go to the chat. Read the chat now. Is one or the other? You're distinct. If you are not distinct, you are extinct. That is it. Try to find your differentiator, your voice, how you move your hands, how you move your head. You don't move your head. You don't move your hands. What languages you speak, in which languages you present. Do you say, I mean, you need to find out what makes you unique compared to the rest. All right, cool. Let's move to the next part of the lesson. All right. So let's go to the question number 6. All right, now we need to talk about CRMs. What CRM stands for, Ariadna? What CRM stands for?
Customer relationship management.
Customer Relationship Management System. All right, CRM, Customer Relationship Management System. All right, guys, please, give me a thumbs up. Do you know how to use Word? Do you know how to use Excel?
Yeah.
Do you know how to use PowerPoint? All right, all of that is useless nowadays. Useless. Unless you are working as an accountant, all right, or something that is very, very specific in terms of Excel, all right, fair enough. All right, if you are an analyst, all right, fair enough. But otherwise, extinct. Now, let me ask you something. Do you know how to use a CRM? Yes or no? Majority is saying no. That is the problem.
Not yet.
You do, Aiden? All right, cool. Which one?
Oh, sorry, I said not yet.
Not yet. Sorry, not yet. All right.
Sorry about that.
So let's change that not yet for I am learning. Okay, Aiden? Because that not yet is like, all right, I will do it, but there is not a date for it. Let's start learning CRMs. Guys, CRMs, customer relationship management systems, are needed for us marketing business people to actually execute the work that we do. Otherwise, we don't have the tool. That is the tool. Guys, tools are important. You agree with me? Tell me something. You were one of the first conquerors in Africa, 200 years ago. In USA, 200, 300 years ago. And you were walking and then you found gold. And then you kept walking and then you found a little bit more of gold. And then a little bit more of gold. So you know that there is gold there, isn't it? How you can make money? How you can make money when there is gold? You can make money two different ways. Tell me those two different ways.
You dig it up yourself and you sell it.
All right, good. So you extract the gold yourself. Well done. What is the second one, which is the one that I don't usually get the response for?
You get someone else to do it.
No.
Exchange.
No. Because if you get someone else to do it, that person will be doing the same that you're doing, extracting. So one way to make money out of gold existing in that land is through extraction. You or someone else or you extracting that with your hands. What is the second way to make money?
Transforming that gold.
Is what?
Transforming the gold into jewelry.
No, that is a second or third step after the extraction. All right. So there is a land and you are certain there is gold there.
Yeah.
Selling the land.
If you are an entrepreneur, there is two ways to make money. One is through extracting the gold, and the second one is
renting the
Selling
land.
the land.
All right, renting the land. Let's start with that land is no use. That land is a natural park or something like that. That is not your land. All right, that is just what happens there. There is gold. The second one is to sell. To sell what?
The tools.
The tools for people to extract the gold.
Yeah.
That is the beginning of entrepreneurship in USA. I'm telling you. That was the beginning of entrepreneurship in USA. It was not the gold. It was the people that were selling the tools for the miners to extract the gold. Those companies grew dramatically, and they were the first companies that created kind of an industrial revolution in USA. So it's about the tools. So, and I'm trying to tell you, we don't do money or we don't make money just because we are doing selling. Also, we can make money by saving on our operational cost. How we save money in terms of our operational cost? By automating processes. What processes we automate? What processes we automate? Any engineer, any architect here, anyone that can tell me about processes? What processes we automate?
The repetitive ones.
Thank you. Who was this?
Stefania.
Stefania, well done. The repetitive ones. So we need to have an open mind to this. Like, if we don't automate the repetitive task, then we are expending money that we could be using in research and development. You know, R&D, research and development, that's where the money should go. The money should not go to repetitive tasks, because for repetitive tasks, we have CRMs, customer relationship management systems, that will be automating things that we don't need to do manually, because that will be expensive and time consuming. So in marketing, we make money not just by selling, but also by saving on operational costs. Don't forget that. That's why we need a CRM, okay? Important, please, if you don't know any CRM, try to explore HubSpot. Perhaps the best CRM that I have ever used. All right? Try to visit something that is called HubSpot Academy. Great source of information for everything we are discussing for free. HubSpot is a CRM from Boston, Massachusetts in USA. Fantastic. Another one, Salesforce. Another one, Marketo. Another one, Sugar CRM. Another one, ClickView. Another one, Eloqua. All right. So we cannot do marketing. We cannot be called marketers if we don't use CRM. Now, majority of times you need to be working in a company for the company to pay for the CRM subscription for you to learn how to use it. Majority of times. But happens to be that if you have less than 100 contacts in your database, HubSpot, for example, is for free. You understand what I mean? If you use HubSpot and you have less than 100 contacts in your database, which is like the elements for the CRM to work, you don't have to pay. HubSpot helps you to grow. And then one day you have 102 subscribers, you start paying for those 2 subscribers. And that is how that company makes money. Extremely smart. Extremely smart. That's why I like HubSpot, because they teach you, they help you to sell more, to be better. So your database grows and then you start paying to them. Extremely smart. So CRMs, customer relationship management systems, should be your religion. And if you don't know CRM in 2023, it's like if you don't know Word, Excel, or PowerPoint in 2010. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. Then don't call me and say, oh, Santi, it's too late. I don't get a job. Well, you don't know a CRM. In the next years, all the interviews will be which CRM you are familiar with. Which CRM are you familiar with? Oh, I know HubSpot. Okay, pass to the next round. CRM, no, I go back to your house. You are not prepared, fit for this role. All right, good. We're about to finish, guys. All right, now, so now that we evaluated the drivers of consumer behavior, all right, then we need to evaluate the reasons for existing levels of customer interest. All right, so we need to analyze the responses from previous communications. Why we need to evaluate the responses from previous communications? Because we need to learn from previous mistakes. In marketing, we learn from previous mistakes, and also because we need to compare previous results with current results. You understand what I mean? If you launch a marketing campaign and you say, oof, Santi, look, we have 30% more views. 30% more views compared to which period? Compared to yesterday, compared to a year ago? So we need to compare previous advertising marketing campaigns with current ones for us to see the effectiveness of the current one. So that's what we're talking about with that business case study, which is Bunnings Warehouse. Guys, please read that business case study. It's extremely good. Later on. Anyone has been in Bunnings Warehouse in Australia? Anyone has been in one of those stores?
No.
Sambama. No one has been in a Bunnings warehouse.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, a lot.
That's a huge business in Australia, but they have one problem. They don't know what project you are working on. They don't know what project you are working on. Every time you go to Bunnings warehouse, it's like that is the first time that you go to Bunnings warehouse. They don't have a clue who you are. They don't have a clue who you are. So they can offer you special sales that are related to your project. They cannot show you whether the products that are related to the product, to the project you are working on. They cannot give you training related to that particular project unless you ask for it. They don't have information about you because they don't have a CRM. So the more you know about your customers and how they react to stimulus and how they behave, the better, the more aligned your communications and marketing will be. That is the Bunnings warehouse business case study. I'm just going a bit fast because we're about to finish those. So, but that is for you to read and to consume later on. All right. We also need to assess the business capability to respond to consumer demand. Guys, why? Why we need to know the business capability to respond to consumer demand? Tell me.
Because we need to be aware
See?
of how many customers we can satisfy. If the demand is too high,
thank you,
we
buddy.
cannot satisfy them.
And if we are not prepared to satisfy more, then we shouldn't offer more.
Yeah.
So that is extremely important, understanding what is the business capability. Guys, what is the difference between business capability and business capacity?
Business capacity is like the quantity of things the business can do.
The quantity?
The quantity of things that the business can do.
No, that is the capability. Sorry. You're right. Sorry. Just got confused myself. Camila, can you repeat the concept? Sorry about that.
Okay, so the capability is what the business can do, and what was the other one?
Capacity?
Capacity is like how many things can the business do?
Oh my goodness, I just got confused. I will have to research quickly. I am sorry. I usually talk about this, but just give me 1 second. I need to research it quickly. All right, so capacity is about the number and capability about, you know, the skills, the ability to do it. So if I am capable to do something, it's because I know how to do it. Capacity is the number, the amount. So you were right. You were right. Thank you for that, Camila. Good point. All right, so we need to know what is the capacity of our business before we start offering our products, because if we cannot fulfill the demand, people will go to our competitors. We are going to detriment the value of our brand. That is not going to be a positive moment of truth if people is visiting our business for the first time. Imagine people visiting our business for the first time. Oh, I want this. Sorry, I don't have it. You need to wait for 3 months. That's not good. People will go to the competitor. That will tell that we don't have good logistics management to have in inventory, in stock, what we need to sell. All right, good. All right. That happens, and that business case is because the company Optus, you know the company Optus, don't you? Very familiar with it. Yeah?
Yes.
So in 2018, the company Optus, anyone was in Australia in 2018? Anyone here?
Yeah, me.
All right. In 2018, Optus went to the market, television, newspapers, radio, and say to everyone, if you are an Optus customer, you have full access to the World Cup. You know what I mean? To the Russia World Cup.
Yeah.
And we will be streaming all the games. Guess what happened? Everybody went to Optus. Like
The
people,
server went down.
my goodness, seriously? People moved from Vodafone to Optus, from Telstra to Optus. And then there were a lot of people going to the streaming services for people to watch the World Cup. And guess what happened? They didn't have the capacity to
It collapsed.
and it collapses. It collapses. It collapsed. That was a learning situation for a lot of companies and business in the world. So you need to be careful with that. And that case study is about that. You don't want to detriment the value of your branding because of you offering something that you will not be able to fulfill. So that is important to remember as well. All right. Now, next point number 9. All right. This is brilliant. This video is one of the best videos that I have ever seen. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Just 1 second. It's about Steve Jobs, which is someone that has changed the planet. Like it or don't, this guy has changed the way we live our lives. Okay.
How important is market research? How much did you rely on it in the early days?
Listen.
Well, I think in the early days, it was very easy because you could go to a homebrew computer club meeting and there was your whole market. And so you could find out what they thought. In fact, you show them your product and see what they thought. And you could, because the products were much simpler then, within a few months, you could change it all around and come back and show them new one. But as the market got more sophisticated, it was less easy to do that. And the problem is that market research can tell you what your customers think of something you show them. Or it can tell you what your customers want as an incremental improvement on what you have. But very rarely can your customers predict something that they don't even quite know they want yet. As an example, no market research could have led to the development of Macintosh.
I'm going to repeat that because that is gold, right? That is extremely, extremely important.
On what you have. And the problem is that market research can tell you what your customers think of something you show them. Or it can tell you what your customers want as an incremental improvement on what you have.
Incremental improvement. They have something and they can see the progression of it, right? But that is not a surprising effect that I told you before.
But very rarely can your customers predict something that they don't even quite know they want yet. As an example, no market research could have led to the development of the Macintosh or the personal computer in the first place. So there are these sort of non-incremental jumps that need to take place where it's very difficult for market research to really contribute much in the early phases of the thinking about how to, what those should be. However, once you have made that jump, possibly before the product's on the market or even after, is a great time to go check your instincts with the marketplace and verify that you're on the right track. And usually when you show people something, they'll say, oh my God, this is fantastic. Or, give you some feedback along those lines.
Wow, guys, I love it. Please watch that video a million times if you need to, but that is the essence of what we're learning here. There are some phases in terms of what we do. When you are trying to innovate, don't ask people. Don't ask people because that will stop your innovation. Like my students, they have a new branding, a new logo, and they go and ask to their friends, do you like this logo? Do you like this branding name? That's not what we should be doing, guys, because this is not about liking or disliking. This is about emotional attachment. Now, you ask me, that's different because I will give you a professional opinion about it. We need to ask afterwards, once the business is working, once the product has been launched, hey, now that this has been done, what do you think about it? But not before. Try to surprise your markets before. Try to make a dent in the universe. All right, beautiful guys, we have completed this class about consumer behavior. We have learned few elements about it, but the most important ones. Next class, we have 2 assessments to test what is the level of understanding that you got from this particular class. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week. I'll be marking assessments as hell in the next week. So you will be seeing a lot of marking in your Accelerate. And I will see you next class, guys. Thank you for joining.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Bye.